Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what appears to be the start of the seventh season of the Apprentice League. Very important stepping stone for all the other leagues here in the Ultimate Racing to eSports uh, part of this game. I hope you're all having a good day, as of all our drivers here who are competing here in this qualifying. Uh, Lots of people promising new talents to get along and to find a way through this game as there are people like Connor here who have their first race, their debut in the esports leagues. Uh, Lots of stuff happening as we saw last season in season 6 as their gamer was the champion with some pretty good performances. We hope that those kinds of performances and a lot of talent can be found here in these championships as Fuko is on provisional pole here with a time of 31.5, followed by Connor, who's showing some pretty good pace for a starter as we head off through. Lots of promising things to happen and lots of good things to happen in the season. So, as well as me here commentating, we have the good old friend Tommy here to commentate
Oh,
alongside us.
how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm really excited for this race. Apprentice League first round is always quite interesting. Some big crash we're gonna see as there is a pretty dangerous pit wall at the final corner that we are seeing right now. So it's gonna be a juicy race in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty close. As Connor crashed into the pit wall for the final lap. But yeah, as we head on to the race, Afuko takes pole position, followed by Bituko, Combsville, Mindu, then Sunday driver, Connor, and Mascabrevas in seventh position. This promises to be a pretty interesting race, as this circuit is not very simple. It's pretty challenging. Lots of twisty, curly sections that all the drivers would have to progress through. And yeah, it's probably going to be a very promising race here in this first round.
If there is something I can add, is we see Ofyuko in pole. He's pretty far ahead, 2.5 tenths. And at the back, we see only Mascabrevas kind of off pace. Maybe he did a mistake in every single one of his laps. But in between, from P2 to P6, we see quite the pack. So, in my opinion, there is going to be some interesting things going on in those first laps in this pack. What are you expecting from this race?
I mean, if this qualifying shows anything, shows that the middle of the pack at least has a lot of actual good pace. So you're going to see a lot of good driving as the lights are out and the race is on. Afuko maintains the lead as Afuko tries to follow along, going to second position. Gumsville trying to overtake from the inside, but Maindu jumps into second position. Some very good racing here as we head back to the battle for P3. Afuko trying to get in as Maindu jumps into third position. Afuko has all of his pole position advantage revoked as Maindu has pretty decent gap for a first lane. He goes
Oh,
wide as Bituka goes into the grass, loses that opposition, drops down to fifth. And after the
this
first
is the
lap,
chaotic corner, and Mascabrevas
yeah,
is unfortunately the victim of
the
this corner.
Sunday driver makes the overtake, but there's a switchback from Mafuko. He tries to push through, but no. As we head to the second lap, Mindu has the lead. Mafuko has lost the position. Will he tries to get it back? No, he doesn't. He's very solo. He doesn't have enough speed, and Mindu is on the lead here on the lead soft tires. He doesn't brake well. Fuko takes advantage of that. However, Mindu, who has the soft tires, it's going on quicker and quicker. Fuko chasing behind. He's not going to leave it empty-handed as he just overtakes it with enough speed and pace.
When corner
Keeps
was
his
very
lead.
wide in the grass behind.
Yeah, just a loss of battles everywhere. As Mindu has a pretty big gap forming between him and Fuko, and it's just all gone a one full sweep. Fuko who would have to defend if he wants to keep this lead. This race is still pretty long, 19 laps around here as we head to the fourth lap of this race. and there's a big pack forming between third position and sixth position. Connor going into the inside as well as Vituko. There's a switchback move. Vituko, though, keeps tries to go for second position. Colesville on the inside gets two position, double overtake, chasing behind also on the soft tire. Mindu losing out a little bit. Fuko, who's also losing out in Coombsville, is actually in the lead. Fuko will try to chase back on the medium tyre. He has the pace to do so. Conda, though, goes on the inside. It's an overtake, and Fuko falls back two positions in this lap. Third. And there's a big battle between Connor and Coombsville. Connor, who's on his starting race here in the Apprentice League, loses that, goes off. And you call that a commentator's curse. He loses all the positions and goes back into fourth as we head back into the P1 battle between Coombsville and Fuko. Fuko on the inside as Coombsville has very wide. He has the pace though to chase back. Not enough though to make the difference as they head into the last hairpin or the last corner. The hairpin. Very dangerous corner. Fuko and Coombsville fighting for that lead very vehemently. The pack is forming, and there's a lot of battles around Coombsville. Fuko makes the mistake and Coombsville capitalizes on it. He will try to keep it. He has the better tyres, but the soft tyres are known for high degradation, as Fuko probably have the advantage over the laps. Coombsville needs to capitalize nearly there, nearly through the wall. That could have been a catastrophe. As you said, this track is quite dangerous, and the racing has been pretty much brilliant right now through these first 7 laps. What do you think?
Fuko makes a mistake, but in my opinion, it's now that the strategy of the medium tires is gonna start to kick in, as the soft of Comswell are gonna start to have some degradation. Bituko on the hards, making a move on corner that is on soft, not the cleanest of the moves, but it goes to show that the soft tires are gonna start to slide, and Medio is in the pits.
Yeah, there are strategies that are truly starting to form as the people on the harder compound tires are going to have pace compared to the other ones. Bituko's on the hard tires, he's third. He's trying to find space. Coombsville on P1 on the soft tire, which is very degrading. We might see him go into the pits in the next, like right now. And he does head into the pits. Fuko on the mediums, Bituko on the hard. Will they capitalize on their strategy? And as for now, they are leading.
Comswell, Connor, and Sunday Driver. Sunday Driver is surprisingly going for the hard. Maybe he's going for the safety at the end of the race, not having too much tire wear. But now he's almost back in the pack with Masker, Brevas, and Mandieu. And he just managed to get away from them, so it's going to be an important factor for him.
Yeah, as you said, he's banking on having that tire strategy. We'll see if that pays off or not, as Paul says, all about the race at the end of the day. Who gets to the finish line first? We'll see if these strategies work out, as the pack is quite spread out for now.
Masker Brevas is continuing on these soft tires. He's really pushing the limits with it.
And it looks
seems to not work out for him. It's not working out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's losing out a lot of time trying to handle those very worn soft tires and they skid and slide around the place.
I mean, it seems that Bituko is catching Fuko for the lead of the race.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close. The gap has shrunk as the medium tires start to fall off for the hard tires, as they're just working better than the mediums. We can see a Fuko pitting this lap maybe. Oh, he goes on through the grass, loses quite a bit of time. However, I don't know if this is going to matter if Fuko goes to the pits. Is Bituko overtaking
I think Bituko will go in the pits. And yeah, they are both in.
Bituko also will go to the pits.
We're going to go for soft. And yes, they are.
Yes,
so Comswell takes the lead of the race with quite the margin, and Connor gets himself into P2, so that undercut really worked out for them.
And that appears to be the case, as Connor on the medium tyres, he will try to defend. But there's an incident.
That's a nasty move.
Yeah, Connor
and he immediately gets killed.
Yeah, he goes into the gravel. Bituko will also overtake. It's only fair for him to overtake Connor after the
Yeah,
incident.
Connor did give back the position, so this is some sportsmanship. But yeah, it's the average move in Apprentice League. We had quite the. Oh,
Oh,
Bitiko makes a huge
Vituko
mistake. We had
does
quite of
the
the
mistake,
brilliant
and
move and
Connor just gets it back.
good-looking moves, but yeah, usually AL is more of a butcher place where people just die. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
continue.
mean, it's a stepping stone series of racing. It is quite
It's a junior
basically.
league. People gotta prove themselves. We're gonna try push the limits, see what they can do, what they can't do. And O'Connell is gonna
Oh,
mash
Connor hits
himself
the
in the
wall.
pits. This is a shame for him.
Yeah, you can call it commentator's curse, as we kind of praised him for his pace in qualifying, and now he's kind of losing out. However, he impressed me pretty good for a first start,
Yeah,
big
he's been
fourth.
pretty clean and pretty consistent as well.
Yeah, he makes the good moves. Hopefully, he continues on that, and we don't curse him. Okay,
And if we look at the
back
lead of the
to
race, Comswell almost mashed himself in the pits as well, but he barely avoided it. He's 2 seconds and a half ahead of Fuko. His tires are just a bit worse than Fuko's one. It's gonna be definitely interesting in the final laps, see if he can keep that gap in yeah in that state, because he definitely wants to win, as everyone here.
we get into the latter parts of this race as the field is pretty spread out, but between 2 and 3 seconds between every single driver. As Fuko on the softer compound tire, he will push to the lead. He will push to the win here in this starting round of the championship. Will he be able to make the move though? The gap is shrinking visually and on the telemetry. We will see. The gap is indeed shrinking. It was at
It is
one and a half
shrinking a lot.
seconds. Now it's less than a second. It's very visual as we head to the final pass.
Let's
There's a
compare the
lot
two
more of it.
laps. It's a 32-1 and a 31-4, so Fuko is gaining more than half a second per lap. So
And he
it's
has a lot
definitely
more than
turning into
enough
his
time to
favor.
make the overtake.
Just made a slight mistake here. It's definitely the mistakes that he wants to avoid, because
Yeah, it's
they are
those
the mistakes
mistakes
for the
that
win.
kill you in the race, those mistakes that pull you from all the pace and time that you want to have, especially in key areas of the lap where you want to have the speed.
Oh,
Coombsville
Comswell,
doesn't help himself as he hits the pit wall.
it's an
Fuko
interesting.
will.
Yeah.
It's only 2 laps left as we head into the second to last lap here,
And Comswell
and
did put a faster lap than Fuko by 3 tenths. So, oh, he makes a mistake. The commentator curses back.
the commentator curses back. Uh, we'll try not to praise a lot of people next
I
time. So
think we praised the whole
today,
grid, and Fuko goes in the
Fuko
grass.
goes too much on the inside, too deep. He loses a lot of speed, and Coombsville now has a lifeline. He can maybe keep this win as we head on to the final lap. The gap is shrinking pretty quickly as the mediums of Coombsville are dying off. The Fuka softs are absolutely on fire right now as he's pushing through. The faster he goes, the more chances he has. Will he get the slipstream? I think it's a little bit too late. Coombsville will keep it home for now as he gets the first win of this season 7 of the Apprentice League. Great driving from Coombsville and Fuku. Brilliant recovery for second
The
position.
final corner,
Tuku getting
Connors
third.
killed Sunday Driver.
Connor
This is dirty move.
very close, but Connor keeps his pole position. Sunday driver fifth, Bindu sixth, and Mascabrevas, who looks like lost it out. He is the last one. It looks like it was quite the brilliant race. A lot of strategy was unfolding. Lots of stuff happened. We say congratulations to Coombsville, who got some pretty good
I think we
racing
can
done
make
in.
a little review of what happened. Do you want to do it or I do it?
So let's do a thing. You take one position, I take a position. We'll start with from P1. Coombsville,
Right.
absolutely good racing. He knew how to defend, he knew how to do stuff, and deservedly, he got P1. Some great
Yeah,
racing.
great drive for him. On the
Yeah.
second place of Fuko, barely 1 second behind, just missing out by the smallest of margin. He still have the fastest lap to compensate, but he did drop one place from his starting position. It's still a great result for him in his third Apprentice League season.
Batuko, third position, comfortable drive. He could have done better if it wasn't for the mistakes. Brilliant drive for him too. He could have done better though.
Connor,
All right.
this is my fault. Sorry, Connor, quite off the pace. 13 seconds behind the first place and 8 behind Bituko. He was fighting Sunday Driver. His final turn incident is definitely gonna be reported. The stewards are gonna see what's going on, but it's a great debut for him, pushing for the limits, and yeah, just trying to get the best out of the car today.
Sunday driver, who's going to feel a bit hurt after the last corner incident. He probably would have loved to be P4. However, P5 isn't too shabby either. As he pushed. He tried to make that overtake. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Mind you, P6, great debut for him, trying to discover the car. Of course, it's a new car class, so it's kind of different from previous seasons. It's still an honorable debut for him, and let's see what he can do afterwards.
Yeah, about Masked Bravest, though, who, in my humble opinion, doesn't have a little bit of pace. I definitely need that. I think that he needs to train himself a little bit. But yeah, the more drivers, the merrier. The more people that come in, the better. And I just hope that we have a more competitive Masked Bravest in the future. As we end off this little recap of the list here, the race results. Brilliant race, lots of events happening.
Interesting race, and except if you have a little sentence to say before we go, I think we're gonna say goodbye.
Yep, we are definitely going to say goodbye, and thanks for everyone who's watching or listening or doing anything here. And congratulations to all the drivers.
See you next week in Hungary at the Hungaroring. And cheers.
Peace all.